My dad was 3 years old when his younger brother Kevin was born in Portland, Oregon. It was a day that would change everything for the Royer family. After April 26, 1960, nothing was the same. 2 years later, Kevin was diagnosed with severe hemophilia. Hemophilia is a genetic disease that limits the amount of clotting factor in the blood. Hemophiliacs lack the ability to heal at a normal rate. Kevin only had 0.1% of the clotting factor that normal people have. A bruise or cut that could heal in only 1 day for a normal person could take weeks or months for Kevin. There is no cure for hemophilia. The only treatment is through injections of clotting factor gained from blood donations. Kevin's hemophilia affected every part of his life. Once Grandma and Grandpa were old enough to give Kevin blood donations at home, the house was hardly quiet. Grandma and Grandpa would scream at Kevin to take the treatments, and he'd scream back because the treatment was painful. In the meantime, Dad was on the sidelines. All he could do was watch and feel ignored. Dad could never get physical with Kevin, because even a scratch could send Kevin to the hospital. Dad spent more time in the hospital than he did at home. For Kevin, the hospital was home. Dad knew that it wasn't Kevin's fault that he took so much of their parents' attention. It just happens when someone in the family has a disability. All the emotional stress is concentrated onto one person. Kevin missed a lot of school because of his disease. He was held back in second grade because of it. Kevin's reading was also way behind, but Kevin was also an intelligent guy. He worked as hard as he could to make up for what he missed. Kevin was very determined. He wouldn't let his disease stop him from doing what he wanted to do. For example, Dad and Kevin were avid race fans, so Kevin became a car mechanic, and eventually became a race car driver. Everyone knew that becoming a race car driver is not the smartest thing for a hemophiliac to do, but Kevin didn't let that stop him. When people said that he couldn't do something, he didn't listen. He just said, "I'll do it. I will do it." Perhaps it was because of his hemophilia that Kevin had the strength to do what he did, and what Dad could not. It took hundreds of people's donations to give Kevin 1 unit of clotting factor. Dad knew for a long time that if anything were to come up, Kevin would get a big dose of it. Even from a young age, Kevin would get allergies to foods that he didn't eat, such as strawberries. Kevin's dependency on blood was incredibly evident, so when hepatitis came around, Kevin got a lot of it. He got hepatitis A, B, and C, and in 1977, Kevin got AIDS. Kevin fought his disease from the very beginning and didn't stop until the very last second. He didn't let his disease stop him from finishing school or from becoming a race car driver. It wasn't the hemophilia that killed him, it was the HIV. Kevin's death affected everyone in the family. Grandma was hurt the worst, but she still hasn't gotten over it to this very day. Even now, Grandma blames the pharmaceutical companies that purposely use tainted blood in their clotting factors, and has been gathering evidence against them ever since. Of course, Dad and Grandpa helped Grandma whenever they could, but you can only fight for so long. Grieved with pain and anger that's built up for decades, Grandma once said to me, "If I knew what would have happened, I would have aborted Kevin." When I asked Dad if he agreed with Grandma, he wasn't quite sure. He knows that Kevin's disease tore her apart. He knows that Kevin's disease tore her apart, along with the rest of the family. There was a lot of pain. Kevin went through a lot of pain. But Kevin fought death until the very last, until the very end. Dad believes that given the chance, Kevin would do it all over again, because Kevin did things that Dad could never do. Dad and Kevin both loved racing and cars, but only Kevin built and raced them. Some people could say that Kevin should have been aborted, but others could say that they'd do it all over again.